hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Jaws. You got your friend Jason here.
I don't know why I'm yawning. It's like I
Tired,
can't take
Ashley?
a deep breath, so then I had to take a yawn. Hi guys, welcome back to Jaws.
What's a good word? Bird?
Oh, I feel like I've been having a pretty good week. Everyone's been asking me like, how are you feeling in this pregnancy? And I swear this has been my best month. Like I think
Yeah?
it really has.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, we've been changing our routine, waking up really early. The last couple of days I've been waking up way too early, like 4 a.m. But I woke up at 4 this morning and I could not sleep.
Wow.
So at 4:25 I came down and went on my Peloton.
Dude, you're just on a mission. No, this week has been absolutely incredible. I shared, you noticed about this new routine. I mean, obviously in recovery, we've always had, a routine that's there to help support our program. But this is like to a whole new level. And that book that I've been reading, Atomic Habits, has just been instrumental into changing the way that I'm seeing and operating. And I'm in this position now. There's a term they use called habit stacking. It's basically where you take a good habit that you already have and incorporate another one on there, so it's easy to do. And so it's been very beneficial. I mean, waking up, just for the record, this one said I couldn't get up at 5 a.m. anymore. She said that was 14 years ago when I used to surf when we first met. Who's getting up at 5 a.m., 5:30?
I was going to say 5:15, 5:30.
I'm at the gym at 5:30.
Yeah.
Literally, I meet Sam there
A
at
few
5:30.
times a week, but not every single day you're up at 5.
Hey, dude, I never said I was trying to be perfect here. I said I'm making improvements.
Yeah.
Okay,
it
so
is awesome.
3 days out of this week, 3 days out of 5
it's
for
been
me,
awesome.
I will take. I haven't done that, according to the queen over here, 14 years. So 3 out of 5 days, pretty good. I'll take it.
I mean, I've been so happy that you've been going to the gym earlier. It's
Changed everything, though. So, I mean, literally, just for those that are wondering, my morning routine now literally consists of wake up. From when I wake up, I just go straight to the gym now, 5:15. I get there about 5:30. When I leave the gym, I'm listening to the Bible app, get some good knowledge out of there, do my daily devotional. And then from there, I actually do my gratitude list of 3 things, not only what I'm grateful for, but why. Send that out to the core group of people. Starts that great interaction with individuals and keeps you up to speed with what people are doing and starts that human connection, which is fantastic. Come back, make my protein shake, have a little bit of breakfast. And then I'm very intentional with wanting to spend more time with the kids in the morning. And so that's really how I'll start my day. And some days I've actually been trying to actually incorporate my book in the morning as well as at night. But at night, I think a big thing that's been helpful, and I see it when I stick to it, is when I actually, no TV at night, and I turn my book on and take notes. Just the other night, it was awesome. I can't believe me, the person that can not do something like without distraction after 15, 20 minutes there for an hour, just taking notes and stuff like that, doing an inventory on my day, identifying where I did good, the areas I needed to improve. And so this is just a great momentum for me to get the cadence back into place. And so it's a lot of the stuff that I've had, but it's now set in a time that is very beneficial for me. That was in the morning, because I do usually wake up, do a little bit of reading, do the gratitude list, would go to the gym like maybe in the middle of the day. It was just all over the place, and the system wasn't good. So I'm grateful that we have the system back into place. And I really noticed the benefit, because yesterday, not doing what I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's a totally different feeling just mentally. And so like for now, like what this has already taught in just these short amount of time is that yearning for, I want to make sure that I incorporate that into my day.
Yeah, it's so important. I feel like that's been the biggest change for me too, just in this pregnancy over the last week, 2 weeks, whatever it's been since I started just incorporating working out again. And like game changer, I bought a cushion for my Peloton seat because I would sit on my Peloton and it was so uncomfortable. A cushion is life-changing. Like, just buy the cushion, and then you can actually ride the Peloton without feeling like you're 700 pounds on it. It's incredible.
I love it.
So, yeah, I love it, too.
Okay, so this week we wanted to talk about the family mission statement that we've come up with. And then what was the other thing we wanted to talk about?
I think it's just from the book that I had been reading, we had been talking about like how to create a mission statement and goals for yourself, and basically like looking at your, like going very far ahead in your life and looking at your funeral and kind of what you want to be remembered for. So we'll touch on that after. But I think it's really important for families, even individuals, to create some sort of mission statement that are just guidelines for your life, to be able to help you create some structure and boundaries with any opportunities that come your way, good or bad, to keep you on the path of who you want to be as an individual.
But it also creates a reminder too, is like when you engage into a work endeavor with new relationships, with anything, it allows you the opportunity to pause and be like, hey, is this aligned with my family mission statement? And so I think it's a great reminder and a tool to like be able to be like, hey, is this going to add or subtract from what we're wanting to develop together as a family?
Yep. So
our family mission statement is, and Ashley and I actually came up with this a couple years ago, and I honestly should remember it by now, but that's why I got my phone up here, is we choose to honor God and each other with integrity, unconditional love, and respect for one another so we can live a blissfully healing, happy, and peaceful life. So what is that, when you hear that again, what do you take away from that, and what does that mean to you?
I think like one of the biggest things is like always valuing our word towards one another and continuing to live our life, even teaching our children, like your word is really important. That's what integrity is, like really living up to your word, what you say, and who you are as an individual should reflect that, as well as like respecting our family, respecting others. That's a really big one. And I feel like one of the biggest things too is like we want to live a happy and peaceful life. I think that's like the biggest thing. We really want to be at peace. And when the world around you can bring so much noise and chaos and struggles, triumphs, tribulations, that is really the whole goal of why we have a mission statement, is because we want to live a blissfully peaceful life.
Yeah. No, I think for me, and again, on my side, when we were putting this together, I think, again, it goes back to what I even shared a couple episodes ago, just about the importance of God. And it's like, for me, it's like, if we keep God at the forefront and take his teachings and incorporate that within our family, we're going to be able to achieve all the things that we want to do. So that's like how I digest it in the simplest form. But like you guys have heard me say, in my life and how things are structured, is God is my number one priority, my program is number 2, and my family's number 3, because if it's not in that order, it doesn't work out nearly as well. And I've seen that firsthand. And so again, that's why we wanted to incorporate this. And so again, it creates an opportunity for me, for anything that I engage in, to be like, hey, is this something that is falling in line with what we want to emulate? And do we, especially for our kids and the things that we engage in, is that leading to this? And so it's just a great reminder to have that. And it allows Ashley and I to be on the same page, because if we're in an argument about something and we don't agree about something, it's like, it's not about who's right or wrong. It's about like, hey, does this actually, or vice versa, Jason, does this align with our family mission statement? And it gives you an opportunity to reflect and be like, hey, you know what, actually, I see what you're saying. It doesn't. And so it's a great way for communication and tools like that, because if you do this when you're in a calm, cool, collective state with very intentional and map out what you want, this isn't something we did. It took us, like, again, we mapped out a bunch of different things, and it took time to come up with like, hey, this is where we're landing on this. And again, it doesn't have to, it can mold and shape over the course of time, but it wasn't just something that we put together really quick. We agreed on it. And again, that way it becomes kind of a foundational piece for what it is when you are moving forward.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's like I was stating last week, like when you are building a house, you have like the plans and the foundation before you ever build, because you want to make sure that the structure is like really sturdy. And so if you just go through your life, without even any sort of plan or any sort of moral compass, there's nothing to like live for. So I do feel like it is like the foundation of our family, is like making sure that we are building it through our mission statement.
Yeah. So highly advised. Any questions you guys have around the family mission statement, put them in the comments. We'll try to get back to you guys. It'd be awesome if you guys come up with them and share them. It'd be cool for us to see what you guys have put together. Switching gears here, Ash. How do you want to be remembered?
Well, what I had heard in my book was that basically like this was a tool to use to kind of create your own mission statement in life. So if you're wondering even how to kind of create a mission statement, if you don't have a family and you're just doing this for yourself, it's looking towards the future, and basically you have all your close family there, but you have a coworker that's a really close coworker, your best friend, one of your best friends, and then your family. And those are the people that get to come to your funeral. And basically, they stand up and say something about you and how would you like them to remember you. And it was really interesting because, you know, I've been doing hair for 15 years and I've always loved doing hair, but it's more about creating pretty hair on people. It's really about connecting with people and the craft of like making people feel beautiful about themselves and making them feel good about themselves is why I do it. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh, how do I want to be remembered? Like, oh my gosh, she did such wonderful highlights. And I thought, oh, that is literally the last thing I would want anybody to say about me.
Okay.
Like, I actually was like, oh my gosh, I do not want anybody to be like, she was my favorite colorist. The biggest thing for me was I want people to know me as one, like, a really wonderful mom, because that's so important to me, is to have my kids love and respect me and look up to me as being like, you know, it's so funny because I would play this song, It's a Beautiful Morning, you know that song? Yeah. And I used to play it all the time in the summertime with the kids, and I always told them, like, at my funeral one day, you guys are going to play this song and you're going to remember me, and it's going to be, this is going to be my song forever, because I just like feel like it's like a really happy, light, bubbly song. And I feel like it kind of represents me, because I'm like in the morning, I like to wake up like sunshine. Like my mom and I are kind of the same. We're like Pop-Tarts. We pop out with sprinkles and we're like, good morning.
You guys have no idea.
We're morning people, 7 o'clock, I'm asleep. So, yeah, I definitely feel like I want to be remembered as a really great mom and someone that was just so fun and loving. And I really want to be known as somebody that made people look at the best in themselves. And whether that be like she helped me mend a broken relationship that I had, or she helped me look at addiction a different way, like those little things that make you a better human because of something that you learned from me is how I would love to be remembered. Like I love being a light for people and giving people hope. That's really what I want. And obviously to be a great wife, like I just want to be known as...
See how that was thrown in at the very end?
But that goes with parenting, I feel like. You know, I want to be known as a wonderful
Those are
mom.
separate things.
Okay, I'm sorry. I also want to be known as a very loving, wonderful,
you got it,
supportive wife that was somebody that is like a light in people's... I will literally want to be the light in people's lives. I do.
That's
I don't want to
amazing.
be the person that walks into a room and dims people's lights. I want to be the person that comes over to your light and turns that sucker up so bright that it's blinding everybody because your light is shining so powerful. I love that. That's what I want to be.
It's amazing. I think that's absolutely fantastic.
So when I think about doing things, it's like, okay, one, is it helping benefit me as being a wonderful mom? 2, am I being able to be a supportive wife if I do this? And 3, am I doing this as something that's like helping somebody and encouraging somebody, or am I doing it for vanity or for other things that are not serving me?
Yeah. I love that.
What about you? I'd love to know. How would you like to be remembered?
It's such like a deep question.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the first thing that comes to my mind is I want my kids to know that I feared God and that God was the most important thing in my life. I want them to remember that and the importance of that and instill that into their life and let them know that no matter what, God is on their side, and that God will always be there for them no matter what. And I want to make sure that's a really good example. I mean, I think my parents have done a really good job of instilling that, like in my life. And at the end of the day, it's the most important thing in their life and now in my life. And I want my kids to see that. Obviously, I want to be a really good father and a good husband to my family. I want to lead by example, and I want my kids and you guys to always be like, he was always somebody that was there for us, that we could lean in, and he was always, there to support, lead, guide, direct, always had our best interests, would drop, anything at the instant to help us and support us. I want that to always be the key thing. I think it starts with like my family is what I want people, those are the people I care about most, who are going to remember who I am, and what I meant to them, and hopefully some of that, my legacy that I've created, will live through my children and through our kids, and through the life that we've created. And I think from a broader spectrum is I want to be remembered as somebody that people could come to, that they feel that there was a sense of safety and connection, kind of along the same lines that you said. I want to be a beacon of hope for those that are lost. I want people to remember me as somebody that was very open and vulnerable, and that shared what he was going through, with only intention of trying to help somebody else that was struggling. And I think the other part is just is some key values, as somebody that was trustworthy, that was accountable, a good friend, a good sibling, just in general, a good person. I think that's kind of the simplest way to summarize it. It's funny because you had asked me this 5 or 10 years ago, and my life would have been completely different and a lot more worldly, and a lot of different perspectives on that. And so I think, in the most humble form, it's just being, a son of God, and being a good example.
That was beautiful. Very poetic.
Yeah. Definitely makes you think, and I think, again, to Ashley's point of when you guys are doing this, or if you do it, just as a suggestion, is taking the time to map that out. Because again, as you can even put that thing on your mirror, you put it on your fridge, like just these things that you want to be remembered by, bullet point it, and everywhere you walk through, it's like, hey, this is what I'm doing today, or this action, or this behavior, or this relationship, is this adding to those things that I want to do? And it creates a really simplified version of you being able to say yes or no to things.
Amazing. I literally was just going to say, I'm really happy that we're doing this and we're helping people and giving them some tools and stuff. And something that just literally came to my mind that I just have to say is I was reading my daily devotional this morning, and for a long time, I think, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. Don't want to cry. I don't know why. For a long time, I feel like I literally did not know my worth. And I feel like, and this is so crazy, it's almost been a year since I got baptized, and this last year, I've finally found my worth. And I had a meeting yesterday, and I told you, I had this meeting, it was a business meeting, and I laid out everything that I knew, my value, my time, how much, it was a financial thing, but it was this is my value, this is my worth, this is what I'm willing to do, and this is what I'm not willing to do. And these are the things that I need to meet my criteria to be able to be on the team. And I've never in my life been able to do that, ever, because I think for so long I didn't know my worth, and I do now. And I just wrote it this morning. I was for the first time in my life, I know my worth. I know I'm good enough. And I want people to feel that. I really, really do, because it's such a wonderful thing. And I really feel like this baby too has helped me, ground me so much in realizing I'm gonna be able to do this, this 3 kids, and being able to set back work, and I can still do it and do it all, and manage it, because I've figured out the boundaries and everything else. So anyway, I don't know, it just made me emotional, but I had to share it because I just feel for the first time in my whole life, I'm 35, that I figured out my worth and what my value is.
I love that. That's so good, babe. Well, I think with that, you guys, next week we're going to talk about insanity. Because I think that plays a key role in our lives, and I think maybe some of you out there may be struggling with that. And insanity is in the simplest form is doing the same thing but looking for different results. And so we'll touch base on that next week, and we'll have some more. Last thing I want to say real quick. Did we talk about me switching the phone number?
No.
Oh, dude, I'll catch you guys up about that. Lance, take note of that. Next week, I'll give you guys the update. Phone switch. Greatest thing that's ever happened in my life.
Greatest thing. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, and make sure you follow us on Instagram for all of our tips, tricks, and sneak peeks at next week's episode.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye.